Another episode of Middle Aged Mamas. Dawn is not here today, but we have Princess here, and we're going to get into everything Princess, all her adventures, motherhood, hair, all the things. Before we start that, I was thinking about something that I feel like as a middle-aged mother, I should know by now. So we'll do a round of what should you know by now. So I'll start. So mine is spades. I have never learned how to play spades.
Oh my gosh.
Ever.
I don't know how to play
I don't know
either.
the concept of the game.
I know a little bit, but I don't really know enough to win a tournament or nothing. You don't want me on your team.
Really? But do you know the concept of playing spades?
Aren't you supposed to collect a whole bunch of spades?
Yes. So in the new year, we're gonna learn how to play spades because I feel like a piece of my blackhead is missing, not knowing how to play spades. But I've also never been invited to a table of people playing spades.
That's a good one.
And I barely know how to play dominoes.
Oh.
I know how to play dominoes, and I like to play dominoes. And a friend of mine actually, is it in the beginning of the year or the end of the year? Her name is Margaret. She normally has like a spades tournament, and like you can win money, and like people sign up. It's like a really big
For the
thing.
new
And she
year?
does it. Yeah, she does it every year.
Okay.
And I never like really sign up because I don't know how to play.
Yeah, I want. Do you know how to play spades?
I do a little bit, but I usually let my partner lead.
Oh, okay. So you're a good
I just
partner.
jump it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
good
feel like I
asset.
should know that by now, though, and that's something that I'm going to figure out
That's
how
a
to play.
good one.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know. I'm not really a
What
card player. I know how to play Go Fish. That's it.
yeah, I know how to play like War. Oh, Uno. Now I can get down on
Yes.
some Uno, but I feel like that's not like adult.
That's not a for real
Like a real card game.
Yeah.
game.
Spades
Yeah.
is a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
What about you, Camila? What should you know by now?
Well, I know a lot of things, so I'll just leave it at that. I don't know how to change a tire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, why should you know how to change a tire?
Why not?
Because there's AAA
Oh, that's true.
and your brother and
Well, my brothers don't count because they're never, available when I would need something like that. But you're right, AAA. And actually, just recently, I had a random like car experience where my tire, I had a nail in my tire, and just thank God I was around the corner from a place that I could go to and get a used tire really quick before I went to go get my other like for real tire. But they tried to charge me $40 to change a tire. Or no, I'm sorry, they tried to charge me $40 for a used tire. I thought that was so like
for a used tire.
for a used tire.
That's not bad. $40 for a used tire.
Yes, that's
Because it's not
bad.
like where all the tread is worn off. You can actually use it for a while. I feel like for one of our cars, that's all we do is buy used
Used
tires.
tires. Never get a
I just
a
don't.
new
It was
set.
like
the
the
best
interim.
used tires that
It
we
was the
could find.
interim because I usually buy like run flats, and those tires are kind of expensive. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I
I
need
hate
to
the
like
run
wait
flats.
because I need to get all of them the same. So I just needed to get that one. But I thought it was kind of like price gougey a little bit.
No, that's good actually.
I don't know
like
about
that.
tires.
I don't like that. So I don't know how to change a tire.
Okay. What about you? What should you know by now?
I feel like, in thinking about it, I should know how to ski. Or like, yes, so many people go skiing. I'm not even like a super winter girl, but just going up to like the lodges, I'm terrified to get on any of the snowboards, any of the like skiing, anything related to flying down a hill on a skateboard. I feel like I should at least know how to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
One year I went to Big Bear and I tried Is it snowboarding where you just have that one big?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the board.
You're like
It's
trapped in
hard.
that thing.
Yes.
Skiing is
I haven't
hard.
even
Like
tried
it at
snow sports, they're difficult.
Yeah, that's something you have to try when you're little too. When you don't have all
So
the
afraid.
inhibition.
And then
Yeah.
falling on the snow because the snow, like if it's packed, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Right. I took one class a long time ago.
Really?
And actually, Urkel was with me.
Oh, Lord.
We had a ski trip with his family.
Really?
And
Don't call him Urkel. His name is
was
Jaleel.
But to me, he was still Urkel because he was kind of a jerk. But
Second that.
yeah, so we took one class that didn't last very long. I was like, I'd rather just go tubing. That's
Did
just
he know
as
how to do it though?
adventurous.
Did he know how to?
Yeah,
just
he knew how to ski, but
ski?
I didn't. I was like, I'd rather just go tubing. It's still
I
scary.
did try tubing. Tubing was terrifying. That was
Yes.
pretty scary. Yeah.
Yeah, especially
was-
if you're going
it was
so
scary.
fast.
You're going fast. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I should. That's something that I should know how to do. I'm always, going up there. I
Yeah.
feel like I should know.
Well, check
be
it
more open
out
to it. I know,
and
I'm gonna
report
try
back.
it.
Let us know how
Right.
it
I'll
goes.
have to post a video.
Another thing, today is a holiday. Well, it's a holiday in our house.
Okay.
Happy Daylight Savings ending day.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I'm not like exhausted, but we'll see tonight
Yes.
because usually daylight savings time, either way, it never does me good.
No, this
especially
is the good
time.
one. This is the fall back. People don't like that it gets dark early,
Okay.
but you do wake up and it's not pitch black. At least for me, it's not going to be pitch black.
But
at
it gets
5:15.
dark at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
Feels like
throws
you
me
need
off.
to go to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which people don't like.
I
But
don't
for
like
now,
it.
I'm excited that it won't be so black driving into work. I hate that.
Oh,
But it's gonna be black coming home. It's gonna be dark. Stop
okay.
saying black. It's gonna be dark coming home. So
I
at 5
know.
o'clock, it's gonna be
dark.
And then we always go through this. The traffic is bad at 5 o'clock because people don't drive well in when it's dark outside.
Really?
Oh,
Notice
tomorrow
that.
when you go into work, notice it's gonna be a whole lot of traffic and people are honking their horns and not knowing how to drive.
Oh.
Yes, it's horrible.
Well, the 405 is always crazy to
But even that's, do you drive over in Santa Monica in Bel Air or Beverly Hills? On
Do I
that
do
drive down Santa Monica, that
no,
strip
no,
of
no,
Santa
no,
Monica.
no.
Oh,
Just the
okay.
405, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Okay, so let's get into Princess.
Okay, what's
Mother of 3.
Yes.
You have one getting ready to head out the house. How is that going? What are your thoughts? Are you ready?
Three
Wait, first, can you
girls.
give us the ages?
Okay, so I have 3 girls. I have one that just turned 17. I have a 15 and one that just turned 12.
Oh, okay.
3 girls.
Teens.
Yes, all teens. Excited.
And so your oldest is she going to go to college?
Yes.
What do you think?
We hope so. Yeah, we're just in the process right now of doing all her apps. She's
Yeah.
like super nervous and intimidated by people asking her, "What do you want to do? What do you want?" She's feeling that wrath a little bit.
Right.
So, but yeah, I believe she wants to kind of stay close, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm letting her, kind of decide. I'm not being super pushy. I'm trying to get an idea of where she wants to do. And, I don't want to plan out,
Right.
everything for her, but just be there to support her and whatever she wants to do. So that's what we're dealing with right now. And then we have, right now she's playing flag football. So we're super busy with that.
nice.
And I'm like so in love. I'm like, I finally get to be a football mom.
Wow. Now, how did she
That's
get
cute.
involved in flag football?
So, a lot of her basketball friends, they were recruiting actually because that's her number one sport. She plays basketball, but it's not her season yet. So the coaches were asking the team, like, can we have some girls that want to try out? And they did. They crossed over, and she's like, well, Mom, I really don't like it. I think I'm just going to be a manager. And I'm like, a manager? So she still got to go to the games. She still got to go with them. But sitting on the sideline for 2 games, she's like, I think I want to play. So she did her first game. She scored a touchdown her first game. Didn't know the plays or anything. So that was exciting. And now we're getting ready for playoffs for flag football.
Oh, wow. Now, is this through school?
This is through school.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
this is through school.
It's
yeah.
so cool to start new things.
It is. I encourage that. A couple years ago, she did lacrosse. She's done, I'm hoping she does, because it's her senior year, I want her to try everything.
Yeah.
I'm hoping she does track, and then I'm hoping one of my girls do tennis. I'm like, I got to have a tennis player. The middle one, I'm like banking on her to do tennis or like an instrument. So
Right.
Yeah.
that I do kind of, encourage.
Now, are they like, oh, Mom, what now? Or are they just ready to try anything like you are?
They kind of are. Most things I'll try once. So I'm like, I just try it. Right now where it's free. You're in high school,
Right.
try everything.
Yeah.
Junior high, try everything. And then it was like, with their dad, he always wanted them to keep busy. So I'm like a fan of keeping them busy. Do sports, even I complain about going to all the games. Thank God, knock on wood, I haven't missed one. I try to make all like the important things. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I always see you. I mean, we've known each other for a long time
Yes.
through our kids doing dance, and then I'm just following you through social media.
Yeah.
So you always feel like you know people's lives,
Yeah.
and you're like invested. So I see you showing up at the games, finding a lot of
yeah.
things for them to do. How do you juggle all of that between your adventures and their adventures?
Well, it's so funny because with social media, it's always like people think I'm out every day. And I'm not. I probably post every day, but I don't post in real time. And I mean, a lot of it is for safety reasons. If I never like put my kids' schools out there, but you'll see like videos. I'm kind of like smart without showing their jerseys and certain
Right.
things. So I'm everywhere at once, but nowhere. Like, I'm like posting from my bed, laid up. Like, they were like, oh, I just left here. I'm like, no, I wasn't there.
Oh, that's smart.
But that's so interesting though, because when you see that on social media, you automatically assume that she's here, there, and everywhere, just popping up and doing all these different things. Doesn't mean that you didn't do it, of course, at some point, but you're not. It's not in real time,
It's
like
not.
you said.
It's an illusion. And like you said, people they think they know your life. So it could work in positive and negative ways. People are just like, you're always out. I'm like, that's interesting. No, I'm not. Like,
right. But like you said, it's an illusion. And
But you kind of want them to think that though, right?
Yeah,
because the more places that you hit, the more like in the know, the more popular I would think that, you are.
Okay. Yeah, it is true. Like I learned early on from a creator, and she said that she gets all her content on the weekend. So she was out like Saturday and Sunday, and then she posts throughout the week. And I thought that was brilliant. I'm like, oh, that's so interesting.
Right.
I'm
So
like,
you follow that motto.
Yeah, right. I kind of followed that model.
Because you can have a normal life during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this whole influencer life. Okay. So what started this? What made you say, I want to be an influencer after, well, you're not done raising kids, but you've been a mom, you still work. What made you decide to take it head on, and how did you get so successful at it?
Okay, so that's a few-part question. How I got into it initially was I didn't go into it thinking I wanted to be an influencer. I was sharing just like things to do. I would post like, at the lake on a swan or doing different things and adventures. Just with my girls and with our family, me, the husband, the kids, we would just go places and kind of we wouldn't say like where we were again. And people would message me like, where is this? Like, where is this park? Or what city is this in? And so I would always share. I was never like a gatekeeper. I'm always like, please try this. More so it kicked up in the pandemic when, I've always been adventurous. I've always been on the go, just with my parents on the weekend. Growing up, we did things on the weekend. During the week was work, and then Saturdays was like, let's take a road trip. Let's go here. So I've always had that adventurous spirit. But in the pandemic, when the world shut down, I was like, how is this going to work? Like, we're us all in a house together. Yeah. I had to find ways to get out safely. So it kind of opened my eyes into a broader perspective of, let's check out this park or this lake. I did a lot more outdoor things instead of like going to traditional places like amusement parks or like,
You definitely have to be more creative.
Yes, I had to be really creative. And then I also saw, we were doing a lot of family Zooms and people were like day drinking and people were stuck in the house, and I was trying to still find ways for people to get out and enjoy life safely. So I did start exploring a lot of waterfalls, and because parks weren't closed, and and I started sharing, and I'd have there's a couple of girls that would say, you should start a blog, and I'm like, I don't know the first thing about blogging. They're like, read up on it. And I kind of started just using my social media platform to share. So like, even if you look back through some of my posts from a few years ago, I wouldn't say where I was. I would just post of places to go. So that was kind of it. And then right at the start of the pandemic, it was like a lot going on at the same time. And then my dad passed away. And he was like Mr. LA, like LA adventurer, like always at a play, like let's go here. He was in the party scene. And I decided, I was such in a funk that it kind of kicked it into gear of, it almost turned into like therapy, getting out. Like it was just like I was constantly moving, like constantly. And that's where people thought, oh, she's out all the time. It was like a rolling spin. I'm like, if I settle down, I'm going to be stuck in the house, depressed like these people. Right. So it kind of kicked it up a notch. So that's how I kind of got my start.
And then I remember you would always post different things around LA, and you'd say, I'm not traveling, I'm not getting on a plane, I'm not doing, and I was like,
during the pandemic?
Princess, it will be so great if you just go outside of LA. You were giving us so many great adventures things I had never even heard of, that
I know.
Swimmerly thing,
Yeah.
and like so many fun things to do. But I was like, she needs to get out of LA. Like she has to go. And then all of a sudden you were on a plane. How did you build up the courage to decide that you were going to get on a plane and go somewhere?
So more so recently, I just got on the plane.
Yeah.
But I was, I kind of called myself a California traveler because people were getting up. It's just I have tons of friend groups that they're always traveling here, getting like a girls trip together in there. And I was always jealous. Like, can we go to Vegas? I could drive there.
Right.
And it was important. Like I'd see people on a camel in Africa and I was like determined. I'm like, I could find a camel out here. And I did. Like it was always like, I could find this in driving distance. And I did. I could find, you know, a place where you can zip line through the forest. I don't have to go to all these different countries. Like I could find it right here.
But now, so that wasn't fear-based? That was because you wanted
That was
to
on
find
purpose?
it in LA? Or both?
So the fear base was weird. I just hadn't traveled on a plane, but it was more so the convenience. Again, I had the girls back to back.
Right.
We were still very much in tune with our kids as far as like separation anxiety. People weren't traveling with their kids. So it was about like, we still did everything as a family. And so some of it was fear-based, and then financially, like I wasn't able to just, you know, pick up and buy.
Wait a minute. When you say not getting on the plane, that means you hadn't flown on the plane yet?
In years.
Okay, it just had been a very long time. Okay.
Yeah. It's somewhere along the lines I stopped flying.
Okay.
And I don't know what it became a fear because I
had to
just
fly
had it.
too.
Yeah. But I realize as an adult now that I know a lot of people that fly, they tell me they don't love it. They
nobody
just
don't
do
love
it.
it because you have to.
Yeah, I was like, I thought all these people just love to fly. But I'm realizing most people don't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Until they get back.
I
And they're
right.
like, oh, I was
I-
fine.
Or up there at the altitude so we can just be comfortable.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was thinking like these people love to fly. So I did. I wanted to show people. Yeah, I would say I'm on a road trip, or how far can I get on the road? And there were so many beautiful places here that, I mean, we did a trip and then I started doing trips that weren't planned. Now that's when I really started having fun. Like we would get in our car and we'll say, okay, we're going to drive north. And then we would drive as far as we can drive. And then we'd get like a hotel and then keep driving. And then that was one of the best trips. I realized when I started posting, I was getting a lot of feedback. People were like, well, where are these points? And I'm like, okay, I need to start sharing like smaller trips where people can go up the coast.
Right.
That was a great trip. We ended up like by Big Sur, Carmel, Monterey, like places that, you know, most people just fly over. They don't actually go through.
Right.
There was Hearst Castle and there was like different places. And I'm like, this is all here in California.
Yeah.
So I always say that it was good to travel minus the plane ticket. That became just like a gimmick. Like minus the plane ticket, you could go
so
here.
Smart.
And it's economical for
Yes.
people who have families
Yes.
and like you said, they
I
can't
love
afford
that.
to get on the plane.
Yeah.
Just traveling up the coast, you don't know how many different things are up the coast of California.
Yeah.
So many
true.
different things.
As
you
a
said,
kid,
the Hearst
that's all we
Castle.
did was travel
Just
around
travel.
California.
Yeah.
My parents never
Camping.
took
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Well, we went to visit family, but we didn't go to like these exotic places. We went to Hearst Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went a couple hours to Monterey, and it was fun and it was adventurous.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you found like a perfect niche
Yes.
of people that were still looking for things to do inside of LA. Because also, if you have a big family, you can't afford
Right.
6 plane tickets all
It's
the
a
time.
lot.
So you can still do something fun and adventurous right here
Right.
in
Yeah.
your state, or you know, wherever, if people are listening.
You are.
we
state that you
have
are.
people in Australia. If you're in Australia, find things around there.
Yeah, that became so cool just to do. If we found, I think it was in Santa Cruz or something, I found this like amusement park or right alongside the beach with Ferris wheels. I'm like, I would have never, it's not a place that I would have just looked on a map and said I wanted to go here unless we were traveling by car.
Right.
You know, we found wineries that were family friendly and those experiences, you know, memories that you just can't get back.
Right. So
know?
you would just get in the car and go, and not
Yeah.
have a
Make it
actual
up.
destination.
Yeah, just make it
Wow.
up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was your most your most spontaneous like best trip?
traveling by car or when I finally
By car up the coast.
Up the coast, we did a trip. I got one of my girlfriends. She had her kids. I had my kids. We got a big SUV. And she was down to just ride. And that's when I made it to, I think it's Carmel. That place took my breath away.
Really?
I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, we got out the car. We were rock climbing. We think back, like we laugh about it. The scariest part was we were there's a part of PCH where you're really close to the edge.
On a cliff.
Yeah, I had no idea. This was the worst part of our trip, is getting on that cliff, which like 2 weeks later we found out went in the ocean.
Cut it out.
Yes, it went under. Like,
wait,
it was a part of the road that we
ocean?
should have not been on, but there were cars in front of us, cars in back of us.
What do you mean you should not have been?
We shouldn't have been. We were so close. If I wasn't driving, I don't know what could happen, because I'm kind of controlling in the driving aspect. Like, I like to be the driver. All the kids were literally leaning over to the side, like thinking, how is this road not blocked off? Like, our whole SUV may go in the water. I was so happy to get off this road, and we were on it for about 8 minutes. Too long, felt like eternity.
Wow.
Gosh.
Yeah, there was a part of the road, and that was towards the end of, like, we had gotten out, we had dinner in Carmel, and we were still going to keep driving north, but that was a scary part of not pre-looking and seeing like, which roads should we take?
That sounds like the road to Hana we went to Hawaii
Oh my God,
a few years ago.
horrible.
Really?
I'm married to her brother, so we
okay.
take family trips together, so the cousins can all be together. We
No
went to Hawaii
way.
together, and we went down the road
insane.
to Hana. Oprah like owns all of it, and I'm an avid, like, I love to see waterfalls
Me too.
and hike. So I was like, we have to do the road to Hana.
And it was beautiful when
the
we got
whole
up there.
thing. You're driving by
Terrified.
a cliff.
And it's a one lane. Well, it wasn't even a lane. It was just a little road, and
Yeah.
people were flying the opposite way too. Weren't they coming back towards us? It was insane.
So driving up,
and
you're on the
my
right
brother
side.
was driving.
Yeah.
So driving up, you're on the right side by the cliff.
Yes.
So driving down, they're by the mountain.
Yeah.
So that's why they were going so fast, because they felt
And they
safe.
also
and
know,
they know the
the
road.
road. So it's the locals.
no.
And they're
It was
like,
getting
forget
dark.
these tourists.
It was
no.
getting dark, and they was
Yeah.
just chewing
Yeah.
up that road. And,
And
my
I'm
brother was
usually
just
the nervous person. You know, I'm always like, man, the break. But I was chilling. I was so at peace.
He was looking
and
up
enjoying-
off to the side. I was like, "Can you please pay attention?" Oh my
freaking out
God,
the
it was
entire
horrible.
time.
It was
Oh,
horrible.
that's like the drive up
So
to
when
Big
But it was
Bear.
beautiful though.
Right.
It was
When you make
beautiful,
it
though.
to Hawaii, you got to do the road
Yeah,
to Hana.
one day.
You be the driver.
My middle one wants to go out there one day, and that is a 5-hour trip. There is places I hear there's nothing like Hawaii.
Yeah.
One day we'll get there.
Now, what's on your list of places that you want to visit?
So it's so funny, so far fetched, and I know it's going to be a long flight. Bora Bora has always been one.
Me too. Is that Tahiti? Is Tahiti and Bora Bora the same?
I have no idea, but
I don't know.
I don't
either.
know.
I know.
Somebody listening, tell us if
I have
Tahiti or
so
Bora
many
Bora is the same.
clients that have been there. A few, not a handful of people. The pictures are amazing. I'm a water baby. I love water.
And that's
Is
when
this
you're
the
in
place
the
with the
little
huts
hut
in
in
the
the
water?
water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is absolutely beautiful. That is a place that I want to visit for sure.
You need to start having like little girls excursions of people.
Well, that was
wanna
my
do-
next question. How often do you incorporate like your girlfriends to like have a girl trip, or just you and another friend besides?
I
this
can't
one time?
find any.
Because
I
it
have
seems like
so
you're
many
always by
friends.
yourself when you post.
Always by myself.
And it's cool though.
I am the
feel
popular
like-
loner. I am always by
Really?
myself. Always.
Do you enjoy that?
I've had to learn to figure it out.
Yeah, like I love when you post that you're going to a concert. You just show up by
I
yourself.
saw by
The
myself.
Formation concert. I was like, I should have did that too. And you're
Oh.
like, I'm just gonna go by myself.
You'll find somebody you know there.
Yeah.
Like I ran into people, like I realized it's LA. LA is really small. The thing about it, solo traveling too, is you just can't, time waits for no one.
Right.
So it's like, I'll have friends that are like, we're going to wait for the tickets to drop, or we're going to get them at the high price. And I'm like, well, I'm going to wait till the day before. And then they have their friend groups and so forth. And so I'm like, I don't want to keep saying no just because I don't have anybody to go with.
Smart.
So yeah, my new thing is like this year. Well, the year's almost over, but for sure starting next year and continuing on, I'm trying to take myself on like 2 solo dates a month.
I set that up to myself. I was going to start doing that. Like, that's part of my self-care.
Absolutely.
Taking myself out.
But what do you mean on a date?
Things.
Like taking yourself out.
Dinner.
Yeah.
But you already do all of the things that you find. Aren't you already doing that?
But I'm still seeing people that I know and certain things like, you know, I may know like somebody else is going to be there or people are going to be there. But I mean, I'm just saying like, because like if I want to go on a date or want to go somewhere, I don't want to like wait for anyone to like say, let's go. So like, for instance, there's like this big, thing that's been going on. I don't know if you heard about like the candlelight.
Yeah.
I love.
Where's that?
We're starting to sound stalkerish.
No, it's okay. They're at different places.
Well, that's what she needs. That's what she wants. That's what influencers do. Like
the candlelight concert.
We're all stalkers, right? Low key, we're all stalkers when it comes to influencers because we're all trying to look and see
like
what she's
I
doing.
also comment and I say like, this is so cool. I'm not just like.
I appreciate it.
But tell us about the candlelight situation.
So the candlelight concerts is a big thing. It's one of those things that exceeded my expectations. I just thought, oh, it'll be pretty, like, and then you can look and see like what artists you want. They had like Taylor Swift, Whitney Houston, all these different people, and I said 2 people that I would love to hear. One was Adele, and the other one was Whitney Houston. And so I went to Adele. It was in this beautiful church off of Wilshire, and I'm like, solo day, like I decided when I said, you know what, I think I'm gonna blog this day and turn it into like a solo date at the concert. It was amazing. Like, I don't know if it was just the setting of, not necessarily just the setting, but the setting was beautiful. It was in a church, the Presbyterian church on Wilshire. It's lit up by candles. It's like dark. It's super sexy, like in the church. Like,
wait, so they're just playing the music?
They're playing the music. It's on strings. On instruments.
Okay, I think I have seen
there's
that.
no singing, and they I thought it was going to be a sing-along. They're absolutely no. They're like, I was like, Adele, they give you a list of all the songs. So I'm like, oh, this is. I'm
but you don't get to choose. They
out.
just play from the list.
They're playing from the list.
You're a listener only.
I was like, what?
Sing along.
They were like, you cannot sing until the last song because they don't want it to interrupt everyone else's experience. Occasionally you'll hear people humming because it's like, how can you listen to this and not
especially
sing?
something that you really love.
I know.
Brought up in the church.
I mean, for Whitney, it's like greatest of all. Everyone's like, they want to see. You're like, they're deep humming in there. They're deep humming.
No
like,
way.
Totally they tell you so like at the end. Yeah, they're like movement. But
so was it crowded? Was it a lot of
packed?
People? Really?
Packed.
There's
different tiers. So
it's probably in different locations,
locations. Like the last one I went to for Whitney, I went to the Biltmore Hotel.
Oh, people are so creative.
People are so really creative. And that was the whole idea of about the solo date, was to do something that you just wouldn't normally do. Yeah. Like, you know, I still haven't been to like a movie by myself, but like a play, a museum, something out the ordinary, a candlelight concert, find something just unique that you haven't done. That was like,
I've been to a concert by myself once before.
Really?
I was living in Atlanta, and my cousin didn't want to go with me. And so, do you guys remember that group, Lucy Pearl?
Oh yeah.
I went to and I went to go see Lucy Pearl, and I don't know if you guys know. She goes by the name of Tennessee Kitty on Instagram, but her name is Joy. And she's a phenomenal singer. And I went to that concert by myself. I had a good time. It was kind of like nerve-wracking, like leading up to it and going there and standing in the line all by myself.
Really? I like my own company. I don't mind. And I just like anywhere in the line.
Yeah. And I've never done anything like that before. And I was really young when I first did that. But after that, I think that kind of broke my cherry, if you will, for doing stuff like that. So random and ghetto. But anyways, they get the point. Going to a concert by myself, because after that moment, like I was okay with doing stuff like going to lunch by myself or going to the movies by myself, because that's definitely something that you have to get used to doing. Like,
and nobody knows you're there alone.
All that stuff.
They don't know that you're there alone. That's what I figured out. Like they're not like, are you waiting for someone? Like,
yeah, they don't.
My favorite place now, that's why I call it like my home away from home, is the Hollywood Bowl. I just get on that bus. I go there. You're going to meet people on the bus. Nobody knows that you're there alone.
Right.
You're surrounded
cool.
by cool people.
I think it's a confidence booster too, though, doing things on your own when you're not used to, or going to places by yourself when you're not used to.
Yeah,
you get used to doing it,
necessary.
and just builds up your confidence for other things.
Yeah, I went to see this therapist that I listened to on podcast alone. She was doing a one-woman show, and I just they sent me an email like, do you want free tickets? I was like, sure. So I had 2 tickets. I was like, I'm going to go. I knew my husband wouldn't want to go. So I went.
Why you didn't invite me?
Because I didn't think you would like it either. So
Didn't I tell you about her?
no, of course you did
Laura.
not. No, you
Dr.
did
Laura.
not. But he told me after. I was like, she likes her. But anyway.
Really?
So I go to the event, enjoy myself. They had the, what's the step and repeat. So I took a picture in front of the step and repeat.
What is that?
It's where, the ads. It's called a step and repeat, but it says like the event. It's like a big poster, and you stand in front of it. That's the
Like the red
formal name.
carpet?
Yeah. So I take a picture of myself in front of it. Ask someone to take a picture of me. So I come home and I'm showing my kids. I was like, "Oh, I went to the event," and I was like, "Look at my pictures." And my daughter was like, "You asked someone to take a picture for you?" I said, "Yeah. What's the big deal?" She was like, "I would have went just to take your picture." I was like, "Oh, that is so sweet."
Oh, she would have went with you.
Yeah, she said, "I would have went just to take your picture."
That's so
I was like, "You
sweet.
would have been bored. It's totally fine." She was so heartbroken that I asked somebody to take my picture. It was really cute. But I was like, that's what kids need to know, that it's okay to
Do things by
just try
yourself.
something new. And if you want to go to something, you don't need a whole entourage. I mean, that's also
Don't
fun
let things
too.
stop you, like she just said.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm learning. It's been a whirlwind, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Because we do so much as a family. So it's like, now it's just like, at what point can you just like step out on your own? Like, I don't have a choice. So I'm like, let's figure this out.
Yeah.
But most of your adventures, would you say, is with the girls as well? Do they love it? Like, going, checking out new things?
It's so funny. Like, initially, like, even to piggyback on your initial question about like how I got started. So initially it was all about the girls. Like when they were coming up and they were modeling and acting, I was like mommy manager. I was always behind the scenes. So it was a lot going on even before the pandemic. It was that gray area of where they didn't want to be on camera as much anymore. And I kind of let them do that. So then I'm like, well, I still want to show people different things. So then I was like, well, I got to be on the face now. Like I have to be. And a lot of people don't know at the time, like my husband was always there. He was like you were saying, Abby, want to be your picture girl. Like he would always take like the pictures and stuff. And so now it's just to the point where, I have to be like the face and the picture person and setting up the camera and maybe putting out a tripod, because not all the time I want to ask somebody like, hey, can you take my picture?
Right.
But people, they do want to see, that you're there. I do have a friend, she's a popular girl online, and she never shows her face. And I was like, I should have been like her initially. She always shows, she shows,
Like
she does scenes and hiking trails and so forth. She shows the back, her hat. You always see her hat.
Yeah.
So when we met one day, when she came up to me, I was like, who is this girl? And she was like, hi. And I'm like, and she told me like, hey, it's me. And I'm like, what? I was like, but she recognized me. But
you
I was
didn't
like,
know her because
never.
you only see like her side,
always see. It was
profile.
just so cute, like how she started out. It was always just like.
Now, was she who
think
you
that's
imagined
cute.
her to be? Or was it something totally different?
Totally different.
Isn't that interesting?
Totally different. I mean, it's illusion. Social media is illusion. You lead people to believe whatever you want them to believe.
Right.
So.
Now, how does that affect your parenting with your girls on social media? Are they allowed to have, all the different apps? How do you filter that?
I want to add to that because I was about to ask you, what are the downsides to this?
Well, it's funny though, because they're blocked and they block all their friends. Like, because once they see, like, if someone says something or like their coaches are like, my coach was following you, like they'll ask for my phone. They block everybody to keep it kind of separate. My kids have kind of like grown up. I've definitely been a part of the oversharing since they were little. But like when certain things started out like as Facebook, it was more intimate. It was like, it was a great way. We have a lot of family all over the place. Most of my family's in Texas. So it was a great way to have a tight community. And my Instagram per se, that one was more open, but I was very selective of what I shared on there. So with the girls, yes, they are allowed to, but I mean, I check everything. I check everything, and they are kind of getting to the point where they're a little bit more private, so they don't really share much. They just use it as a tool to kind of look.
Right.
You know, they're like, one of my daughters is like, I'm going to post for my birthday. And I'm like, oh, sure. Like, you have to do all this. Right. She's like, I got to go take pictures. And I'm like, just post a picture. She's like, no, it has to be right. I'm like, just post a picture.
Now, do they make you get approval before you can post them? Because my kids
sometimes
are like, don't post it. I'm like, I'm not. Nobody.
Yeah. When I unblock them from time to time, they will like respond and say, I can't believe you posted a picture. And I'm like, you know. So I am not the type of person that will post other people so much. Like even my mom, regular dinners, they'll say, oh, don't post that. I'm like, I'm not posting you. Like, you're so nervous. Like my phone's over there on the piano. I'm so worried about being posted. I'm like, I could be in a room full of people and will zoom in on myself at this point. I do not post other people because I know everyone's not a social media person.
Right.
But you know, it's crazy, I guess, because of the life and indirectly, I had always kind of been this quote unquote, like influencer in a way. Like I know they get a bad rap, but just having shared so much when the girls were little and I was happy to be a mom and, you know, the girls were like a blessing and dance class and I was posting like
and
all
let me tell you, they used to get down in them dance classes.
I remember those little classes.
Do you remember?
Yes, it used to be shaking.
Her girls had like the big hair.
afros.
Oh no.
Oh, they were
I didn't remember seeing her girls.
so cute, but they had the pizzazz.
I just remember all of the little girls.
Oh my
They're
God,
super
they used
shy
to
now,
dance
though.
so hard in those classes.
Especially the little one. Like I still have videos and she was one of the ones that were like still such a fun, loving parent and not like we had some horrible parents, a couple horrible
some
parents
dance moms.
That were upset because my little one would always be
taking all the shine.
Yeah, it was weird. Like
I was
like,
cute, though. I loved it.
It was so cute. Like who hates on the kids? But like, yeah, that girl, she's super shy now. But
Isn't that funny?
at the time, it was super cute to watch. I always support all the kids, every kid. You know, just, you know, let them navigate their little worlds.
So I have a question, like, and it's kind of probably a silly question, but like, do you accept everyone? Do you like, is your profile open and everybody, you just invite whoever comes in?
Now, yes. Because
well, you have to if you're going to influence you. It's an open page like our mama's page.
I guess. I don't know. I just wonder how it is when like you get kind of like weirdos kind of following you.
They do just block them. I mean, I've had to learn that. Where it's kind of like overkill. I don't really entertain it, but you know what's so funny though? A lot of people, it helps. Like, I mean, every bit helps, every interaction helps, it helps build up because it's like what I'm learning is when dealing with different companies, they want to see your engagement. They want to see how many people you connect with. Like, are you personable? Like, and for me, I know that again, like I say, I overshare like I do. It's like the internet has been my friend. Like, you know, it's been, I wouldn't even say a curse, but it's been a blessing that it is. Like, you know, I overshare. People have seen like the girls grow up. They run into places. They'll be at the mall. They'll be like, Mom, you know, I ran into this person. I'm like, it's so funny. Like people think that they know you. Yeah, they do. And I'm like, they're online uncles and aunts and stuff.
Oh, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, I'm like, your nieces are doing this, or if I have a question. Yeah, it's a good.
So I also have another question. I have some.
You don't have to announce your question.
Okay. What about some of the events? Because I was on your page and I was looking at some of the events, like the bubble event is so cute, and I've been wanting to do it, but I didn't think that my son would like really be into it. He's 12. Is that something that like girls and guys can like get into?
The most recent one, was it like the bubble balloon?
It was like
place?
it was like silver. Yeah,
that place was amazing. Like that was another place.
And is that downtown? It's downtown.
It's downtown.
Right?
It's in the art district. They just opened Friday.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the girls there because sometimes, you know, when I go to different events, like I don't drag them out.
Check it out.
I used to, but I had so much fun there. I want to go back. Yes, it exceeded my expectations. I thought it was gonna be kind of cheesy. I thought it was gonna be like one room
Oh, and that's what I was thinking. It's like
No,
one room
it's multiple
full of...
rooms. Like you're gonna be there for a few hours. Like, yes, it was really fun. And it's like to have another museum, I do try to have them experience different things, you know? So, and then they're excited, they share with their friends. Like my mom would have me like at plays, and my dad would have me at a museum or like an art gallery. And I just think the kids should be, exposed to so many different types of things.
And what a cool way to continue on what your parents did for you, just in a different way. That's really cool. I find myself, when they were little, doing all those fun things, finding adventures for them to do. And now that they've gotten older and they have plans on their own, I kind of take a back seat. But now I feel encouraged to just say, like, let's go. And forget they're hemming and hawing. Just let's go and do it, and then they'll enjoy it and be appreciative later, at least a couple times a month.
Exactly.
Because one of my sons used to love to hike with me. We were like hiking buddies, and we're like, oh, we'll go once a month. But then he started being influenced by the siblings. I'm like, we don't want to go. We're not going to do it. Or remember we did our New Year's hikes?
Oh, yeah.
Traditions. So I'm going to get back to that.
Yeah. We didn't do that last year.
We haven't done it since like 2020 or 2019 or something.
I think it was 2020.
Yeah.
Well, there's no better time but the current. So with stuff like that, make them go.
Yeah.
Like even today, we're going to go on a little hike because I was like, oh, it's so pretty. You know, they complain, and they will because they're getting older. But like, I think the hardest part is because, you know, I did have separation anxiety. Like I do want them to remain close. I'm always wondering, like, you know, with friends I've seen after high school, and then they're in this different light, maybe like college or whatever they choose to do. Where does that disconnect happen with parenting?
Right.
We don't have like a rule book of how to stay connected with our kids. And a lot of times kids circle back. Like, you know, I used to like talking to my grandmother or like older people, but it's just like that middle age, like where do you go from there? And I was the only child. So, and my dad had other kids. I have siblings from him, but like with my mom, I was the only child. So it's like, how did I just, you know, start hanging out with my friends and not like circle back?
Right.
You know, it depends. And I think it probably depends on the parent too. Like at some point, my dad probably was like, hey, I want to see her. So looking back, I'm like, that's why he'd probably say like, Key, come down, let's go to breakfast. And that was like our thing to do. I'm like, okay, we're going to go to breakfast. I'm going to see him at breakfast. My grandparents, I may call on Sundays and touch bases. I want to still have some type of connection with the girls. You know, people are always like, what are you going to do when they go away to college? What are you going to do when they go here? I'm like, well, hopefully we'll all talk.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to still be a present parent. But I don't really let them have so much free time. I still like, and they do feed off of each other. And then one will try to put her foot down and say, I just don't want to go. But she always has so much fun when she goes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at any age, boy or girl, just make them go.
Yeah.
I think it's important to continue to do that and develop rituals so that your kids, traditions, rituals, so that your kids they look forward to that and they expect those things at certain times of the year, even when they're older. You just create those memories and those lasting traditions, and they always come back.
At least for
that.
one or two, where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this as a family. We know that this is gonna happen."
Yeah.
One of my sons, he's like, "Halloween's over. Can we pull out the Christmas decorations?"
Lord.
He done decorated his filthy room already. Yes, he pulled out a Christmas tree, still got all his football stuff all over the floor, but and was asking me for a hook last night to hang string lights. And I go to bed early. They like
even
tuck me
time
in.
yet.
I come downstairs in the morning and I was like, "This is why you're asking me for a hook?" You know, Scotch tape lights.
He's ready to get in the spirit.
Yeah, so you're right. Those traditions keep your kids around and doing things, you know, as they were little and continuing on. That's just a natural bond. So why wouldn't they want to come around, you know, at least when they need to after college?
Right.
Just try
So
to
look forward to that stuff.
Just try to keep them in the loop.
Yeah. Okay, so as moms, we know that we always need like a gazillion sources of income. And we have jobs and influences and all this stuff. So you are a hairstylist by trade. You always look fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
I need a couple of hairstyles that you think middle-aged moms should either move away from or try. Let's do that.
So I'm guessing, with hair, I am still pretty like a classic hairstylist. Someone would have to come with me with some fun to do experimenting. I think people are very stuck in their ways. So even when someone says like, I want to try something new, I had this lady, she's 60 something recently. She's all gray, beautiful hair. She's like, I just want to cut all my hair off. And I'm like, really? I'm like, show me some pictures. Like I try to see like, what do you think you want to look like? Or, you know, and she goes, well, I always get so many compliments on my hair. I'm like, your hair is gorgeous. Finally got all the color out. Like it's beautiful hair.
So are you a believer in letting your hair just start graying?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, because I have some grays coming in.
You're a dye girl, right?
And I can't stand them.
Yeah.
Not for yourself, but your
like not for myself, but I've always loved color. Like, so my grandmother was a hairstylist. My mom did hair on the side. I've been getting to have fun with color since like 7th grade. Like my mom would do my hair. I was like guinea pig. Like one daughter's asking. So we've done different fun things. I think that it's one of those things where it's just hair, like, you know, not so much emphasis. So like I used to be super into my hair, especially high school. And one time I just remember I was so into hair, and it's usually curly, but my mom straightened it. She said, oh, your ends are terrible. And I'm like, leave those ends. Like, it's fine. I gotta go to school on Monday. I don't care about those ends. She said, turn around. Let me fix it. She cut all my hair off to my shoulders. I was mortified. I was like, wait, I have to go to school like this? Like, barely could put it in a ponytail. She's like, just wear it down. Everybody loved it because it was different. It was just like what you didn't expect. People didn't have like bobs in high school.
Right.
And another time I remember us going to Texas, and it was so hot. And she went in the bathroom and cut all her hair off. She came out with this trash can. I was like so attached to hair. And it taught me that, and I was like, well, she's still pretty. I was like, she can wear short hair. It took a lot of, oh my God, you know, working with it. And so it was just one of those things where it's just like hair is not the, you know, and then growing up and then learning like not everybody can even have hair. Like people are buying hair. Some people, you know, have diseases where they lose their hair. I don't want you to be with my kids like so attached to hair where it hinders you, you know? So I am more creative, but I do like them to bring some creativity to the style. Like, let's see what we could do, or let's work this. But I am pretty classic when it comes to either straight, a classic blunt bun, or like a nice simple braid, or like a bob or A-line. Like those are like my go-to styles. Now with color, I love to play with color. I think it's fun to express yourself through color and different things. Yeah.
Okay, so are highlights always in? Or is that a summer thing?
So traditionally we kind of go darker in the winter, deeper. I've been doing a lot of like coppers, browns, warm tones.
Right.
And lighter in the summer, but I have some rebels. Like I've always been a rebel. So I have people that just do the opposite of what, you know, the winter is more like, okay, bangs, everyone's coming out because it's cooler. You can wear like bangs.
Right.
You're not sweating on your forehead.
Yeah, but I do, like not everybody, I don't encourage everybody. A lot of people played with growing out their colors. I've had women that are like, in the pandemic, can you meet me outside in my backyard? Like my husband does not know I have gray hair. I'm like, that is so crazy to me. Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
That is funny.
Different cultures do different things, but there's a lot of people that they have to keep up.
Right.
I just had a client, and this is not even about hair. She told me, this is the same gray haired lady. Her husband, open toe is not ladylike. I said, I thought.
Open toe shoes?
Yes.
Oh, what? Really?
I commented on her shoes. Sexy. I'm like, oh, those are cute. So her husband went and bought them. I thought it was so sexy. I'm like, what? What are 60? She said no. She's never been able to wear. They've been married 35 years.
Is she American?
Yeah. Black, beautiful lady. Beautiful.
That's funny.
She looks like she's Creole.
Oh, maybe he likes pumps. Like the classic
maybe.
pumps.
It just doesn't matter, but it has to be
too.
closed toe. She is not allowed to show her toes.
That's
Not
interesting.
allowed.
He has an opposite
not
foot
allowed.
fetish.
Not allowed.
Opposite foot fetish.
So
Yeah,
just
not
imagine,
allowed.
like a lot of women, they are not allowed to have
Right.
their gray hair out.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how many women allow their husbands to influence that part of their life, their style,
drink to that.
everything.
That's mind blowing to me.
That's so
it's true.
funny.
Even like I know people whose husbands won't even let them cut their hair. Yeah.
I've been a rebel. So my husband, he was always into long hair, and I kept it long. But then it's like, it's okay. Like, but when you voice something, like if you don't like this or you're saying it so I can hear, then I'm gonna do the opposite. Because it's like, what are you gonna do? You know, I don't like braid summer. I'm like, let's braid it down. Like, you know, and then it's just like, okay, don't talk about because it is that control. Like, oh no, you not about to control.
So basically, as middle-aged women, don't be afraid to do what you want to do with your hair.
No.
Just go for it and take
Just
some
go
risks.
for it.
Yeah.
Take the risk.
Yeah.
Try
I've been wanting a
things.
bob for a while, but my daughter's like, nah.
Do it. The cool part about that is a lot of people that want bobs, that I always suggest they do extensions. Try it out.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
I'm always like, do extensions. Yeah, do extensions. Try on a wig, see what you look like. At the beauty supply, they have wigs. Try it out.
Oh, that's a
see
good
what
idea.
you look like and see if you like it.
Yeah.
But there's obviously there's no rules to this shit. Like there's no rules.
Yeah, do what you want
know.
to do.
Just try it.
Yeah, but a lot of people are growing out their hair, their gray strands, and like embracing it.
Yeah.
I'm not with that. I don't like. I have some grays in here, and I've been begging you forever to dye them out. But we're gonna get it.
And it's not the end of the world. Like I do have clients that have tried that in the pandemic. They tried to just see if they can do it, and they were like, because they were at home, they didn't have to turn on their cameras for work,
right?
So they would try it, and a lot of people do just look better with color hair.
I think maybe if you're like over 60, but in your 40s, I think you should.
I think it's just a thing of embracing it. You just either you love it or you don't.
Embracing that yet. I think it.
And you can always change it. Like
you can always change.
You can always change it.
Yeah, those grays aren't going anywhere.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Instagram at 3_MAMA.S, on TikTok, and you can watch us on YouTube. If you'd like to reach out, you can email us at middleagemamas@gmail.com. Peace.